Hey guys, come on downstairs. We are playing a little Minnesota Twins franchise here today. We are coming off a 4-game series where we split the 4 games with the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa St. Pete. We won the first 2 and lost the next 2. Now we have the Detroit Tigers at home at Target Field. This is a 3-game series, starting off with game number 74. We come in at 41-32. The Tigers are 34-38. And Jose Iglesias, Christian, Cabrera, Upton, Castellanos, Kinsler, Van Slyke, Holt, Saltalamacchia is their batting order. We're going to have Chase Peterson lead off, Bonifacio, Vargas, Sano, Valbuena, Mesoraco, Robbie Grossman, Jorge Polanco, and Byron Buxton in the 9-hole here in the opener of this 3-game series. Justin Verlander is on the hill for the Tigers. He is 4-5 with a 3.97 ERA, a 1.35 whip, and we will oppose him with Jose De Leon making his 8th start of the year. He is 1-1 with a 3.93 ERA. We'll get the action underway here in the first inning with Miguel Cabrera, one of the all-time great hitters in the history of Major League Baseball. Stepping to the plate with runners on the corners and nobody out, and Miggy grounds it to the right side. Valbuena on to second. Jorge Polanco makes the turn. A run does come in to score. Miggy will not get credit for an RBI as he grounds into the double play. It's 1-0 Tigers as we head to the second inning. Luis Valbuena, 16 home runs, 44 RBIs on the season. Bottom of the second, 2-2 delivery from Verlander. And Valbuena lines this one high and deep to right center field. That one is back of the track and it is gone. A home run for Luis Valbuena. And that ties the score up at 1 apiece. So we are going to do this episode a little bit differently here today. This is the only Twins game that we will have highlights of. And then we will do some other things after we get through these highlights. As Ian Kinsler steps into the box now, 0-2 count with a runner on first. This one's going to get past the first baseman, Valbuena. Also get past Miguel Sano in right field. And that gaff in right is going to allow Nick Castellanos to come across and score. Gets under the glove of Miguel Sano. It's 2-1 Tigers halfway through the baseball game. And we head to inning number 7. Aaron Thompson comes on now for Detroit, making his 35th appearance. He will face the leadoff guy, Jace Peterson, who's 1 for 3 with a single. He has been hitting very well lately. Runners on the corners now with 2 outs, and he's just going to chop it to the right side. Kinsler throws it away, and that allows the run to come in to score and tie the game at 2 at the end of 7. Ian Kinsler with the error. And Arodys Vizcaíno is on now for the Twins, a 5.04 ERA. Facing Charlie Christian, the center fielder, 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Charlie Christian with 2 outs, nobody on, and Christian drives this one deep into the right field corner, and that one is going to be just inside the foul pole for a home run, a solo shot for Christian, and that gives the Tigers a 3-2 lead in the 8th. Charlie Christian, Irvin Avilas now on. He's got 2 saves on the season, a 3.93 ERA, and he's facing Luis Valbuena, who homered earlier in the game. With a runner on second, Valbuena is going to line it right back up the middle. And that is Kenny Vargas rounding third, heading to the plate. Here comes the relay, and the throw is in time. And Kenny Vargas, the tying run, gets cut down at the plate by the Tigers. And Devin Mesoraco now, bottom of the 8th. Valbuena still at first, 2 outs. Devin Mesoraco, foul tip, but it is hung on to. And at the end of 8, the Tigers still lead 3-2. We go to the 9th. Justin Wilson, looking for save number 9 on the season. He has a 5.03 ERA, kind of high for a closer. And he will face Byron Buxton here with a 1-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on. Buxton chops this one up the middle. Jose Iglesias on the run just barely gets Buxton in time. That ends the game. The Tigers get the W, 3-2, and they climb to within 5.5 of us for first place in the American League Central. We are 8 games ahead of the Indians, 8.5 ahead of the Royals, and the White Sox, 12 back. So the Tigers lead the season series 6-4 now. Aaron Thompson gets credited with the win. Justin Wilson picks up his 9th save. Now let's take a look at the All-Star voting. The All-Star game is a couple weeks away. And right now for starting pitcher, Doug Fister, Rick Porcello, James Paxton, and our very own Kyle Gibson is number 4 in the All-Star game voting. For starting pitcher in the American League, over in the National League, Madison Bumgarner, he's 11-2, 512,000 votes. Clayton Kershaw just behind him. No surprise there. Relief pitcher, Kevin Segrist, who is 2-0 with a 1.74 ERA, is cleared down there in votes. He needs to be up higher. He has having definitely a all-star caliber season. Pedro Baez from the Dodgers is leading the way in relief pitcher votes in the National League. As far as closers go, Robert Martinez, 417,000 votes. I do not know why they don't have Segrist listed as a closer here. Sam Dyson, Steve Cishek right behind Martinez. Mark Melancon over in the National League, closer for the Pirates. Yuris Familia, a one-time Twin player for us, had a cup of coffee with the Twins. Devin Mesoraco in catching is down there in, 7th place. Buster Posey leads the way in the National League in votes for catchers. Looking at the first baseman now, if we will turn over to it. Edwin Encarnacion from the Blue Jays leads the way, 550,000 votes. Miguel Cabrera is down there at 4th. We don't have anybody in the top 10. At first base in the National League, Will Myers of the Padres, Paul Goldschmidt, Ryan Zimmerman, Anthony Rizzo, Tommy Joseph from the Phillies, the upstart Phillies. At second base in the American League, Jose Altuve from the Los Angeles Angels, Rougned Odor, Ian Kinsler, and we don't have anybody in the top 10 either. Unfortunately for us, Brian Dozier was forced to retire due to injury after last season. Colton Wong leads the way in the National League. At third base, Luis Valbuena is 4th in the voting with 367,000 votes, trailing Manny Machado, Todd Frazier, and the like. Young Hervis Solarte leads the way at 3rd in the National League from the Padres. Nolan Arenado, Anthony Rendon. Eduardo Nunez at short is 5th in the voting behind Xander Bogaerts, Andrelton Simmons, Carlos Correa, and Marcus Semien of the A's. In the National League, Troy Tulowitzki is turning his career around, back with the Colorado Rockies, the place it started. He has 301,000 votes. In left field, Eddie Rosario is down in 7th place in the voting. He has 6 home runs and 37 RBIs, 257 batting average. In left in the National League, Ender Inciarte from the Atlanta Braves, who have the worst record in all of baseball. Michael Conforto, Kyle Schwarber. In the American League in center field, you got Mike Trout, Jacoby Ellsbury, Kevin Pillar, and we don't have anybody in the top 10. A.J. Pollock in the National League, Charlie Blackmon, Ben Revere, Jock Peterson, Billy Hamilton leading the way in votes. In right field, Miguel Sano, 5th right now with 329,000 votes. He obviously doesn't play right field every single day. He's more of a DH. Pretty much every day. And in the National League, we are looking at Bryce Harper. That is no surprise. Hunter Pence, J.D. Martinez as well. So, game number 75, the second game of this 3-game series. We go on to win this one 10-9 in a high-scoring game. Cut the Tigers' season series lead to 6-5. JT Chargois gets the win. Kevin Segrist picks up save number 25. And yesterday's winning pitcher, Aaron Thompson, picks up the loss in this one. For us, Devin Mesoraco went 2 for 5 with 2 home runs and 2 RBIs. Valbuena added a home run of his own. Third and final game of this 3-game series with the Detroit Tigers. And we go on to win this one 4-1 in game 76. That ties up the season series at 6 games apiece. Kyle Gibson, who should be an all-star this year, picks up the win. Kevin Segrist with save number 26. Shane Green with the loss. Eduardo Nunez, 2 for 4 with a double, 3 RBIs. Russell Dillard hit a home run for the Tigers. And we end this episode up 7.5 games. So let's go down to the farm, AAA Rochester. The Red Wings are 47-28. They are first place in the International League. And we will be facing the Buffalo Bisons. So our batting order will be Tanner English, Tapia, Dominguez, Calero, Walker, Paulino, Workman, Harrison, and Vilma. as we get set to take on the Buffalo Bisons on the road in Buffalo, New York. The Bisons come in at 40-35, and we will get a look at Steven Gonsalves, who is 5-5, a 4.01 ERA in 76 innings. And for the Bisons, Harrison Musgrave will go for them. He's got a 2.70 ERA, 1.03 whip, 66 strikeouts to 16 walks. And we'll get highlights started off here in the first inning with Adam Walker at the plate. He is DHing today, and he grounds this one through the hole on the left side. And runner heading around third. Here comes the throw. It could be close, but it is up the first baseline. And the Red Wings jump out to a 1-0 lead. Here's Bucky Workman now, batting .299 with 3 home runs, 21 RBIs here at AAA. With the bases loaded and 2 outs, and Workman's going to lift this one to right center field. That one's heading towards the gap. And I don't know if anybody's going to run it down. They're not. It gets over the head of the center fielder, and that is going to clear the bases. A base-clearing double for Bucky Workman, and it is 4-0 Red Wings in the middle of one. We go to the bottom of the inning now. Rowdy Tellez, great name for Buffalo. Runner on first, Gonsalves with the delivery, left-handed pitcher, and Tellez swings and misses. Keep that guy's name in your mind. He does some damage a little bit later on in the game. So we head to the third inning. Adam Walker, 1-for-1 with a single in the game. He's batting .231 on the year. He's the DH today, 3-1 count with 2 outs, and Adam Walker drives this one deep into center field. That one's back at the track of the wall, and it is gone. A home run for Walker. And that is home run, I want to say, number 4 on the season for Adam Walker. It's 5-0 Rochester in the third inning. We jump ahead to inning number 4 now. Here is the aforementioned Rowdy Tellez, batting .252 on the year. Here's the 0-2 count. And that one's lifted high and deep to left field, and that one is way gone. I'm sure you guys weren't expecting that after I already hinted he was going to do some damage. Rowdy Tellez with the solo home run makes it 5-1 in favor of Rochester, but the Bisons are on the board here at Shippett Stadium. And we head to the 5th inning. Still 5-1, runner on first. Here's the delivery from Gonsalves. Runner going, here comes the throw, it's not in time. And the Bisons get a stolen base. And then this one lined into the gap in left center field. Tanner English is going to cut it off. Run will score, but it will hold the batter to a single. And it's 5-2. Now Shane Opitz, batting .158 on the year. Hasn't had a lot of time here at AAA. And he's going to send this one into center field. Tanner English is there. Runners on second and third. Runner from third is tagging. He doesn't have great speed, but the fly ball was deep enough to get him in. It's 5-3 Red Wings at the end of inning number 5. And we're on to the 6th inning now. Brandon Peterson comes on for the Red Wings, making his 18th appearance, a 4.38 ERA. And he will face Rowdy Tellez once again. I bet you all don't know what's going to happen here, because 1 home run, I don't know if that would be called damage. 2 home runs, definitely damage. And this one is deep to center field. Tanner English makes a impossible effort there. It's a home run for Rowdy Tellez. We go to the 7th inning. And Nick Birdie comes on. 2.82 ERA. 265 average against lefties. And 213 or something like that against righties. So an 0-2 count with 1 out. And it's Dan Rolfing at the plate. And Rolfing looks at that one for strike 3. And Nick Birdie gets out of the inning, and the Red Wings go on to win 8-6 here in game number 76. Steven Gonsalves ends up going 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Adam Walker went 3 for 5 with a double, 2 RBIs. Bucky Workman 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. Mario Calero, who we will talk about in later episodes, went 3 for 5 on the day for us. He is our first baseman at the AAA level. Look at the American League standings. The Yankees, 3 games ahead of the Rays. The little plus mark means that they are a wild card team. The Angels are the other wild card team. And we're 7.5 games ahead of the Tigers. Over in the National League, the Phillies have a 2-game lead on the Nationals. The Nats would be a wild card team. The Cardinals 1 game over the Pirates. The Pirates would be the second wild card team. And the Dodgers a 2-game lead on the Giants and a 2.5-game lead on the Rockies. That is where we stand. We're about 2 weeks away from the All-Star break, maybe 3 weeks away. 2.5, 3 weeks away from the All-Star break here on Minnesota Twins franchise on Mama's Basement.